Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another episode of Chemical Guys Detail Garage. Do you have glossy exterior plastics that get scratched up often? Well, today in this video, I'll be covering how to properly polish out all the imperfections, such as scratches and swirls, fingerprints, and much more on glossy plastics. Let's get started. Before we get into this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel because we have many more videos coming your way. We have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's 3 videos a week just for you guys, so make sure you're subscribed down below. And now, let's get back into the video. As you guys can see, this glossy plastic has seen better days. So right here, I actually have an arsenal, and I'll just grab my ultra bright light just so you guys can come close and you guys can see how scratched up this glossy plastic actually is. I mean, this looks like a cat has been on here or something has been on here, but all of this is just deceiving the look of the plastic, and over time it's just going to keep on getting scratched up. So today, I thought it'd be a great idea for me to show you guys how to properly polish them out so you get a lustrous shine. Before we get started, I'll grab my tape just so I can give you guys a 50-50 of a surface that has not been polished compared to a surface that has been polished. So I'll just get a piece of tape, go down the middle, and I will just lay it down. Excuse me if it's not straight. But this side will be our control side, this side will be our polish side. So step number 1 is going to be polish out the surface of the plastic. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with paint, glossy plastic. We always recommend clay barring the surface. So like this, you remove any contamination. Unfortunately, I do not want to touch the surface of the plastic anymore because it scratches very easily. So today I thought it would be a great idea for me to use the light duty clay bar. The light duty clay bar is a sticky substance that's going to help me remove all the contamination and filth that's embedding itself into the plastic. Because if you actually do not clay bar before you polish, all you'll do whenever you're polishing, you'll be pushing down all the contaminations deeper into the plastic, and you'll just be scratching up the surface more. So this clay bar does come with a plastic film over it. All you want to do is just remove it, and you want to rip off a very small portion. By ripping off a very small portion, it's going to allow you to, 1, have extra clay bar sitting inside its cubby just in case if you drop this one, you have some to use. And second of all, you do not have to use a whole entire clay bar, so all of this is just extra. I'll put it back somewhere safe. I'll store it away, and I'll put this off to the side. Second, I'll be using clay luber. So clay luber is a lubricant that's going to help me glide my clay bar across the surface of the plastic, paint, headlights, glass, whatever you're clay barring, and it's not going to allow me to scratch up the surface or mar it. Before anything, I'll just knead down to a ball, and then I'll push it down into like a patty-like form, and then I will do a 3-width finger. 3-width finger is more than enough to go ahead and help me clay bar this surface. So 3-width finger, and if you're not familiar with the clay bar, it's very sticky, so this is why we always recommend using clay luber. So like this, you have something to glide around and it won't drag around. So now I'll go to the surface, I'll generously spray clay luber all over it. If it doesn't get on the glass, that's perfectly fine, just wipe it off. Spray some onto my clay bar as well. And now I'll just go to the surface that I'm going to polish and just go side to side. And if I'm actually quiet, you guys can hear all the contamination that's coming off onto the clay bar. All of that contamination that you guys can hear right now, that sounds like sand, that is all contamination that has embedded itself into the surface of this plastic. And what happens over time, especially like on your hood, on your roof, and any trunks, you're always going to get more contamination because that's the surface that's more exposed to more contamination and fallout. So after you're done using it, inspect it. If you do have to re-knead it, knead it. But if you guys can look closely, all of that is just contamination that has embedded itself into the clay bar. So what do? You just remold it, get another side, and reclay the surface. So like this, you make sure you bring out all the contamination from the surface, and whenever you go to polish it, your surface is contaminant free. So let me just go back and forth. And whenever you're clay barring the surface, you never want to go in circular motion, always go in linear motions. So like this, you do not cause scratches or swirls or marring around the surface you are claying. So after you are done clay barring, you'll put your clay off to the side. I'll grab a clean microfiber towel. In this occasion, I am using the Happy Ending green microfiber towel. 1, because it's laser cut, it has no edge. 2, it's ultra soft. And 3, I am dealing with a very delicate surface that is glossy plastic on this Toyota Prius. So I'm pretty sure you have came across glossy plastic, especially I know all the Mustang owners, the Charger owners, and the Challenger owners, and many more out there on the market. You guys have that back piece where the tail lights sit, and it ends up happening. This is what happens to it over time because you constantly go to your trunk, you touch it. So this is why we always recommend polishing it once in a while, or polishing it and then ceramic coating it. So like this, you remove all the contaminations from the surface of the plastic. So you guys can't hear any more contamination. The surface is contaminant free compared to this side. Contamination, contaminant free. Contamination, contaminant free. So now that the surface is contaminant free, it is time to get into the polishing. And I'm actually going to be doing a two-step polish to start off with. If I walk over here, I have my Torque 15DA and I have C4 and P4. So we're going to start with C4 and the orange pad, and then I'll be using P4 polish just to refine it using my white polishing pad. So before anything, let me just get my C4. I'll shake it up and I'll open up the spout, and I'll be using 5 dime-sized drops. Oh, that's more than enough, so I'll count that as 3, and that's 5. In this occasion, I'm only going to be using 3 dime-sized drops because I use a very big one. But I will also get my pad conditioner. Pad conditioner is just going to moisten the pad so I can reduce friction whenever I'm polishing. And step number 2 is going to be put the cord over my shoulder. So like this, I don't allow the cord to be banging up on the surface that I am polishing. So now I'll go to the surface, I will blotch it out. And then on speed setting 1, I will use the polisher just so I can spread out the compound. And then on speed setting 3, and then on speed setting 6, I will work it until it turns clear translucent. So step number 1 is going to be turn on the machine, bump it up to speed setting 1, and just spread out the product. All right, now that I spread out the product on the surface of this glossy plastic, now it's time to return the machine on, and I'll bump it up to speed setting 6 so I can work it inside to side, up and down, till it turns clear or translucent. Let's get started. All right, so I just finished step number 1, which is working C4 onto the glossy plastic. I'll just grab my happy ending, and I'll just buff off the residue. And you guys can see C4 did an amazing job at removing the deeper scratches, but I still want to revive this glossy plastic, so that's how I'm gonna do a 2-step polish. I'll do P4 polish. P4 polish is just going to bring out the lustrous shine that I am looking for, and 2, it's just going to refine the finish. So let me just make sure I remove everything from the surface. I'll come back, I'll grab my white polishing pad, I'll remove the orange one, put this one off to the side, and if you do have soiled pads, you could use pad cleaner to clean them up. Check out the link down below, clean them up so that you can reuse them, and then I will reattach my white light polishing pad onto my Velcro backing plate, and then now it's time to use P4. So before anything, let me just shake up the product, get the proper mixture, and then I will do 5 dime-sized drops as well. Hopefully I get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And then I'll get my pad conditioner. 1, put this off back. And then same exact process. Cord over my shoulder. I'll go to a surface. I will blotch it out so I get the even spread and I won't get any sling whenever I turn the machine on. And then after that, speed setting 1, just so I can spread it. And then after that, I'll bump it up to speed setting 6 to work in the product. Let's get started. So we just finished polishing out the surface using P4 polish. Now it is just time to get my happy ending microfiber towel once again and just remove the suspended product that is sitting on this wing. So just by removing it side to side, you guys can start to see that the lustrous finish is being exposed, and that's just because I am buffing off all the residue left by P4 polish and C4 compound. So let me just go and just remove it side to side. As you guys can see right now on camera, I am not removing the product in circular motion. The reason why I'm not removing the product in circular motion is because I want to reduce scratches and swirls. If you do go in circular motion, you might pick up a rock chip, something, contamination onto your towel or something, and then you might re-scratch it. So this is why we always recommend going side to side. And now I will show you guys the 50-50. Just so I can show you guys the results I achieved using C4 compound and P4 polish. So if I remove the tape line, you guys can see a big before and after. I mean, this side has seen better days, it has scratches and swirls, compared to this side. The shine is there, the reflection is there, and nonetheless, it's contaminant free. So if I grab my ultra bright light once again, so I can shine light directly on it, you guys can see all the imperfections on this glossy plastic on the control side. Compared to something over here, I just recently polished it with P4 polish and C4 compound, and the reflection and the shine is now restored. So guys, if you guys want to pick up any of these products I used today in this video, whether it's the ultra bright light, the Torque 15DA, C4 compound, P4 polish, you can hop onto our website now, chemicalguys.com, or you can stop by your local detail garage. I recommend you do so. It's a detailer's paradise. We have over 85 detail garage locations across the globe, including Canada and the UK. As always, I'm Henry, and thank you for sharing your passion for shine with Chemical Guys.